Hi, welcome again by Deco Reviews. Um, in my last free game review, I did a comparison of three different versions of Robocop 3 on the Master System, the Mega Drive, and the Super Nintendo. In that video, I made a remark about a kind of jittery frame issue that I had with the recorder. If you think that the image is a bit stuttery, that is caused by my DVD recorder. I don't know why this happens, and it really annoys me. I use a DVD recorder to record the footage, and the recorder appears to record in an interlaced format. And that is exactly the reason why you see that issue where the frame is sort of stuttering. That's because the game consoles, they output in a really low resolution progressive format. It is known as 240p or 288p. In my case it is 288p because it's a PAL system. And the recorder expects an interlaced signal 480i or 576i. In my case it's 576i because that's double the resolution of 288. And when I preview the recorded footage on the TV with the recorder, you see the very same effect. And the reason why you saw that in that video of Robocop 3 was because I had imported the DVD straight in Adobe Premiere Elements, and Adobe Premiere Elements does not really seem to have an easy way of deinterlacing the footage. And for instance, if I open that project, you will kind of see that. Let's open the project. And my trick now is to use a handbrake to transcode the footage. I normally use a handbrake quite often, but at that time I was kind of lazy and I thought, hey, why don't you just import the DVD straight with Adobe, because it has a feature to import DVDs that are made with a camcorder. Yes, some camcorders from the mid-2000s used 8cm DVDs, DVD rewritables, and it's actually the same format as what those DVD recorders use. So here's the project that was made with Adobe Premiere Elements, and let's search for it. Have to look for the footage, but you will see that it kind of stutters. So I have muted the sound a bit, but you can see that it is stuttering on the screen. So how can I fix that? Well, that's where handbrake comes in. I have a DVD here with some footage that I recorded, and here's an important setting. I've made this preset. It is called DVD Deinterlace No Crop. And what it does is you have to make sure that the resolution is exactly what the DVD uses. So in this case it's 720 by 576. That's a PAL resolution. And make sure you disable cropping. If you set cropping to automatic, it will do weird things, and it doesn't always give the correct aspect ratio. So set this to custom and set all these values to 0. And then when you go to filters, make sure you choose deinterlace and then the Bob deinterlace filter. What you get is, first I'll show you the example with the bibbering effect. That's this. An example of something that was imported straight in Adobe, and as you can see, this is kind of interlacing. This is Batman Returns, by the way. and you see this thing stutters like crazy. It is god awful, and this is exactly what you get when you preview it on the TV from the recorder. Because I use a CRT TV and I have that old DVD recorder recorded to it. It's a Pioneer model, and well, the same thing happens with a Sony. The Robocop 3 footage was done with the Sony recorder, but as you can see, this stutters like crazy. And I have some footage of Streets of Rage on the Master System, and you can see how jumpy it is. And well, that's because of the interlacing problem. So now I have an example where it is fixed, and this is de-interlaced with handbrake and with the correct aspect ratio settings. As you can see, the image is completely stable now. It is no longer jumping about. It is, well, yeah, perfectly clear in fact. Oh, that's a bit too far, I guess. But you have now a very stable image that does not jump, and that just gives a decent output from a DVD recorder. So you don't necessarily need an HD capture device with a upscaler to capture footage, even when you're capturing RGB footage, because most of my consoles use an RGB SCART cable, and well, my DVD recorder is of course a PAL model, so it has a SCART input, and well, pretty much any TV in Europe and every DVD player out there and VCR have SCART inputs, and it's a convenient way to record footage in RGB. Of course, the footage from the NES is in composite mode, because I don't want to RGB mod my NES, but my other systems like Super Nintendo, Mega Drive, Master System, PlayStation 2, GameCube, they all output an RGB signal, and a DVD recorder is a good way to record that, as long as you de-interlace the footage. And well, yeah, it's pretty stable now, no stuttering anymore. And at first I thought there was some kind of sync issue, and I thought I had to use a sync stripper, and then my dad said, oh, that's really just caused by the interlacing. And well, I've done a bit of research about interlaced signals, and I realized, oh yes, these consoles, they output a really low resolution progressive format, and it's electrically compatible with the interlaced format, but it's not a broadcast format. And these recorders, they expect a broadcast format which is interlaced, and therefore they give a kind of funny result when you capture a really low resolution progressive signal. So that's well, about it, and I hope you enjoyed this, and maybe you find this information useful for when you're doing your own game recordings, especially with DVD recorders. They are a very useful system for recording RGB footage. Yes, they're a bit cumbersome. You have to record the material first to the hard drive and then burn a DVD and then import it. It's a bit time consuming, but it works. At least it works for me. So that was it, and I thank you for watching.